Hey, what's going on, guys? So this is part 3 now, I think. Part 3 of talking about this story. Okay, I'm gonna come through here. I'm gonna show you the next balcony over here. I'm gonna come through my roommate's room over here. I'm gonna show you his balcony. It's pretty crazy. This is his balcony here. Look at this. Isn't this beautiful? Empty spot. They're developing something. That's how Miami is. I don't know if you can see all the cranes. It's nonstop. They're always developing something. It never ends here. I mean, always a new building, something being developed. I don't know if this is a hotel or an apartment or what, but this pool area is beautiful, just gorgeous. And you know how pictures don't do it justice. And in person here, it's unbelievably gorgeous. Got one of the 2 pools in my building here. Anyways, come on, boy, come on. Can I continue on the story? There was one of the big changes in my life happened when I got my first job, and I want to talk about that. One of the cool things, I think, in my story is that I've never had a job in my life that there wasn't a investing purpose behind. There's a view over here. I think I showed this in one of the other videos. I got that job at Subway, not because I wanted, just to have money to spend on stupid things. I got that job at Subway because I wanted to invest in stocks. When I was I must have been 14, I think, and I bought my first stock. I was looking at things, and that's when this company called GoPro, they've got, those are the like portable cameras and stuff. The founder of that company's got an awesome story. But anyways, his company was going public. So that's called an IPO, initial public offering. And I'd heard about people making a lot of money from IPOs. And so I was like, hey, let's do it. Well, I didn't have any money. And so I think I talked to my stepdad, and I convinced him to let me use some of his money to buy it. We bought like 3 shares. I don't remember exactly what they came out at. It was like $40 a share or something like that. So it wasn't anything super crazy. It was like 3 or 4 shares. I think it was 4 shares. Anyways, not important. I bought that in the IPO. Here, look at some lights on it here. When the IPO first launched, and I remember being so excited about that. I thought it was just the coolest thing in the world that I was investing in stocks, even though it wasn't even my own money. And I remember just watching that stock, every second of it. Am I making money? Am I losing money? And I was going crazy. I was 14, and I was going crazy watching it. And I remember being in school watching the charts. And I very much remember I watched one of the shows. I think it's Jim Cramer, and he talked about that stock, and he said, "Hey, sell it when it gets to this number." And I remember calling my stepdad, and I think we put a stop loss on it because it went up to, we bought it 40, then went up to 60, and then I put a stop loss at 50 or something like that. So, but I only put it to sell 2 of the shares. So it came down and it sold, which was so stupid because later on it shot up $92. And anyways, I remember when it shot back up, I came out of class, we were going to the cafeteria for lunch, and I didn't even get food. I went and got my phone, I'm calling my sister, I'm like, just sell them. And I think I made $70 or something like that, but that was the coolest $70 I'd ever made in my life. Never had a job ever. So fast forward a little bit to when I got that first job. The reason I got that job was so I could have money to play with stocks. And that's where I met my now business partner. Was working there. He was also working at that Subway. And basically what happened was I hated that job. I absolutely hated working there. And I didn't want to do that anymore. And the summer was coming up, and I was like, hey, I'm not going to work here for the entire summer and watch all my time go by making no money. I hated everything about it, absolutely everything about it. And so I started talking to him, and we had a buddy of ours that him and his dad had a like a lawn mowing company, and they were apparently making some decent money. So we're like, hey, why don't we do that? And we're like running the startup cost numbers, and it was going to be like, like a couple $1,000s. And we worked at Subway. We didn't have that. And I remember talking to my stepdad about it, and he was like, why don't y'all do pressure washing? All you got to buy is a pressure washer. We're like, that's genius. So the next day we went and we bought a pressure washer for like $150, $170, maybe 200, something like that. And what we started doing is we then quit our jobs, and that was the biggest deal for us at the time. And we went around and started putting up these little signs around neighborhoods and street corners and off of highways. And it was like, we'll pressure wash your house for $50 or something like that. We were trying to get them in and get them to call, and people would call. And we would go out. That's what we did for the entire summer. We went out and we pressure washed houses. And we made a couple $1,000s doing it. And obviously we didn't get rich doing it, but we loved it. We sucked at it. When I had never even used a pressure washer in my life when we had gone to do our first house. I remember literally showing up, and there was like an older gentleman, and he was like, oh man, you guys are kind of young. And we're like, yeah. And I'm sitting there trying to act like I know what I'm doing, and I don't even know how to work the thing. So I get it going, and I'm trying to pressure wash the house. And it was one of those houses that had like vinyl siding on it. And I'm sitting there like spraying the vinyl siding, trying to clean it, and I broke a part of it. So I'm like, oh God, like I'm gonna go over here and like pretend that didn't just happen. And so that's what we did. That's how we started. That's how we learned how to do that. And we did that for the entire summer. And we loved it. It was freedom for us. We were doing what we wanted to do when we wanted to do it. There was no schedule to it. And it was awesome to us. It was truly awesome to us. And but we had a problem though. Eventually the winter time came around, and it's too cold. We couldn't go pressure wash in the cold. Just to take a break from what I'm talking about, this place gets absolutely gorgeous at nighttime. It's a completely different view at night than it is during the day. This completely lights up. Like I said, pictures never do it justice, but it's just beautiful. As it gets darker, it gets even more different. But anyways, the winter time came around, and we could no longer do pressure washing anymore. Because I remember like the last house we did, I remember sitting out there, and it's now starting to get cold. And because I'm from South Carolina, and because it's not Chicago, it doesn't like snow like crazy like that, but it can get cold in South Carolina. And I'm out there, and it's like the fall, and I'm sitting there, and we had used the heck out of that pressure washer. And I remember I'm up there spraying the house, and it was leaking, and the water's running down my arm and like through my shirt. It was freezing cold. We were super angry and just fed up with it. And we were like, what else can we do? What other kind of businesses can we do, and so that we can stop doing this one? And so we started to do all kind of online businesses. Check it out from here. It's just beautiful. Well, on the 38th floor, it's just incredible. But we tried to figure out what are the kind of businesses we could do. And we tried a bunch of different things, and nothing worked. And I guess failed. I'd never say failed. I don't feel that I've ever failed anything, because to me, it's a long journey. And any business venture or anything is just one of the things you're trying. And the only way you could actually fail is if you gave up. That's my opinion on it. And then you stopped. You completely sold out that dream, and you started doing something else. That's the only possible way to fail. And so I never felt that I failed, but that business venture, those ventures didn't work out. We tried all kind of different website things. Nothing worked. We're trying to drive traffic to these websites. We didn't know what we were doing. It didn't work. And so anyways, we had to get jobs again. And that's where the story gets interesting another big twist happens. And stay tuned to the next video, and we'll keep going. And I'm gonna let you know what happened and when we got those other jobs.